All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at the Tap House here. I've got at the stage, it's Brady Laber. Greg Shoemaker's in the house along with Nick Wesendorp, our audio technician. First of all, we want to thank the Tap House for hosting us here tonight. Make sure to take care of the servers that are working hard for you. And make sure to remember that you can download the audio tristatefootball.com, and we'll have videos of this stuff here also sometime tomorrow, maybe the next day at the latest, because this is the third of 3 neighborhood preview shows. We're here on the east side, and with me now, the Indian Hill Braves head coach Mike Tyson. And coach, kind of talk about your team. You know, you guys got to go. Have you had a scrimmage yet, or is Northwest your first scrimmage?
Yeah, we scrimmaged Vandalia Butler last Saturday.
And how'd that go?
That went very well. They're a big D2 school, very physical, have some skilled kids, and you know, every year it's been a great scrimmage for us.
And you're going to scrimmage Northwest this week.
Yeah, Northwest, we see another big D2 school, but we see speed, so it gives us a pretty good feel for how we handle, you know, the power kind of game and how we handle the skill kind of game.
Now, kind of explain to the folks that you're D3 school, okay? Explain the differences between a D2 and D3, other than the obvious as far as you're classified according to a school enrollment. But I mean, talk about as far as on the field, how big of a difference that is.
Well, I don't think it's that big of a difference. We went up there to Vandalia, and they come out there with about 76 kids. You know, we've got close to 50. You could only play 11 at a time.
Right.
The biggest difference I see is the depth. Usually they can afford to lose a kid and replace him with a pretty talented kid. At our level, sometimes when you lose key people, it's pretty difficult to rebound from that.
Okay, and then the regular season, the real season, you start out in Richmond. I know you probably haven't laid out a game plan or even talked about it to your kids, but obviously you've got to have that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Herman today for the very first time, and you know, I think they're going to be somewhat similar to what New Richmond was last year. And so, you know, it's a very competitive game for us. We're both D3 schools, so it's a nice matchup for us.
Okay, kind of talk about your team. You know, what do you like about it? You know, how does your team look without giving away the game plan?
Well, we're pretty excited. We think we could have been a 10-0 football team last year. We lost 3 games that were games that we could have won, probably should have won 2 of the 3. We return a lot of speed this year, so we're skillful. We're fairly big. We have a 315-pound guard and a 295-pound guard, so we're kind of big up front. As you probably know, our quarterback that we had expected to have transferred to Charlotte. So we kind of have gone in a different direction, and it's a direction that, as a coach, I'm happy about. I think it goes back to the kind of things that we've done at Indian Hill for 18 years that I've been there. So we're pretty excited about our quarterback.
I tell you what, you should do this stuff because you gave me a perfect segue to move on to the gentleman next to you to your right, your starting quarterback, John Griggs. Go ahead and pass the mic on to John. John, you told me you pretty much did it all on offense last year, but you're being asked to be the starting quarterback. First of all, do you know who Cordell Stewart is?
Yeah.
Okay, what was his nickname?
I don't know his name.
Slash, meaning he did everything. That's kind of, you know, I was kind of ribbing you about that before we went on the air and stuff. Kind of talk about what all the things you did for the team last year. Just kind of talk about having to be that go-to guy at every position. I mean, that's got to be difficult to prepare for, not only for your opponents, but for you yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like every week last year we had like a brand new defense to go against, so I would be playing either like a slot back or running back. Sometimes I'd go out wide. I did a little bit of wildcat formation last year, so it just like every week, every time I came in, I pretty much like switched positions on offense.
Okay, and like I said, without giving away the game plan, what do you think your role is going to be as the quarterback this year?
Well, I think this year we moved a little bit away from the old Indian Hill spread offense, like 5 wide receivers, drop back, throwing the ball. We're not going to be doing much of that this year. We're going to be using a lot of like running plays and utilizing my skills more.
And not just that, those big guys up front the coach was talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys that are going to protect you, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, good job, John. Let's move it down to the other end of the table here. Got a couple of linebackers here. Of course, you guys play 2 ways. I'm going to start with you. You're Robert, or you Tanner?
I'm Tanner.
Okay, Tanner. She didn't really write that down for me correctly. I'm going to throw him under the bus on that. But Tanner Landstra, wide receiver. You're a wing or a linebacker, wing back. Let's talk about defense, man. What's your role going to be on the defensive side as a linebacker, Tanner?
Well, I'm really looking to be a leader on the defense this year, make sure everyone's going full speed at all times, making sure we're getting the whole team to the tackles. But yeah, making sure that I'm going to be leader out there.
Right on. And how about your role in offense? A wing back. You don't hear that phrase very much anymore, man. Kind of talk about what your role is on the offense as a wing back.
Well, it's my first year playing offense in a while. I've been more of a defensive guy. So it should be fun playing that running back position, get the ball in my hands a little bit more.
I was going to say, everybody loves the ball, man. As a,
Yeah.
as a defensive guy exclusively, I bet you were kind of excited when Coach kind of threw that out to you, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. So, but still, even as a linebacker, you've got opportunities to touch the ball as long as you can create turnovers, right?
Yes, and I played defensive back last year too. So.
Okay, so you're kind of, it's kind of like a hybrid spot, that's kind of becoming in vogue now, where you have a guy be a big safety, small linebacker kind of thing. Is that where you fit in?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, man. And let's talk about, let's go ahead and do it like a coach was. Let's talk about your scrimmage coming up this week. What do you think your role's going to be there, and you looking forward to playing against Northwest?
Well, like I said, just making sure everyone's going full speed, being a leader out there, setting the example on the field. They're a really good football team, so it should be a good test of our skill to see how we're going to match up against New Richmond week 1.
Right. How do you, like Coach was saying, Division II school, they're a little bit bigger, but and more depth. But how's that going to prepare you for your D3 schedule? Because Cincinnati Hills League is very tough. But like I said, how's that going to prepare you guys?
We got a lot of good athletes out there, so we match up pretty well. We got a lot of speed and skill at different positions on the field, at many positions.
Okay, excellent. Now let's pass it down to your partner down there in crime, Robert Stevens. Robert, you're also a linebacker. Kind of talk about what your linebacker role is.
Well, I think I'm just going to help Tanner be a leader, and we've got a lot of young guys out there this year, so we got to make sure they do their job.
Sounds like Coach is kind of selling you guys on being leaders.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because he's here to listen to that. Now, Robert, you also are a right tackle.
Yeah.
Talk about your role in the offense and helping to block for your quarterback down here.
Well, I got to make sure he doesn't get hurt, because without him...
Right.
Yeah.
Right, now, you're not a huge guy. If you walk in the room, I'm not going to guess you're a lineman, okay? But obviously, so what's got to be good for you is technique.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about being able to use technique as opposed to just brute strength.
Well, you got to get the technique, because I'm more of a speed tackle than a power tackle, so I might be pulling a lot more than you'd think, and our guards are going to be the power type linemen.
Sure. Now, Coach alluded to, you guys had a really nice season last year, 7-3, 5-2 in the conference, and but you lost a couple close games. I mean, sounds like you guys are just a couple plays away from going undefeated. Kind of talk about using that experience as far as to improve for this year.
Well, we just have to not make the same mistakes we made last year, and just make sure the young guys know that, and set a good example during practice and during the scrimmages, and just do the right job, make sure everyone's doing their job right.
All right, that's, ladies and gentlemen, the Indian Hill Braves head coach, Mike Tyson. Don't mistake him for the former heavyweight champion of the world, as he does spell his name differently. But let's give these guys a big round of applause, the Indian Hill Braves. All right, next up, Sycamore Aviators from the GMC.